Let me paint you a picture. An earth dragon erupts from the ground, ready to turn two unlucky travelers into a light snack. These guys have no weapons, no skills, no chance. They've basically accepted their fate and are just waiting for the sweet embrace of death. But before the dragon can make them into a statistic, some kid named Tatsumi comes strolling down the road and absolutely demolishes the thing like it's nothing. The two travelers rush over to thank him, and Tatsumi gives them that whole happy-to-help routine. When they ask where he's headed, he tells them he's going to the imperial capital to make a name for himself. The travelers immediately try to warn him about the capital, full of shady people, backstabbers, the whole package. But Tatsumi isn't hearing it. He's got willpower, he's got determination, he's got absolutely no idea what's about to hit him. He keeps walking and finally makes it to the capital. His first impression? Bright, vibrant, full of promise. He heads straight to the barracks to sign up as a knight, expecting to be welcomed with open arms. When he finds out he can't just waltz in and become a commanding officer, he throws a fit and gets tossed out on his ass. Great start. So there he is, moping in the street like a kicked puppy, when a blonde lady swoops in to comfort him. She offers to show him how to make it big in the city. All he has to do is buy her a few drinks. And because Tatsumi has the street smarts of a particularly optimistic goldfish, he takes her to the most expensive pub in town and blows all his cash on her. After the free meal, she hits him with another offer. She knows someone in the military. She can hook him up, just needs a little money for the connection. He hands over everything he has and watches her walk away, like this is a perfectly normal transaction. It's only when the pub closes that reality smacks him in the face. He's been played. Completely, utterly, embarrassingly played. Dejected, he steps outside and decides the sidewalk looks like a great place to sleep. Later that night, a noble's daughter named Arya spots him passed out on the street. She stops her carriage, offers to take him to her mansion, and Tatsumi, having learned absolutely nothing from his previous mistakes, follows her without a second thought. When they get to her home, her parents are surprisingly welcoming to a random stranger their daughter picked up off the pavement. After thanking them, Arya's father asks what he's doing in the capital. Tatsumi explains that he left his countryside village with two friends, Sayo and Yasu, to make something of themselves. Before they left, the village elder gave him some artifact for protection. They said their goodbyes and set out, but somewhere along the way they got attacked, and Tatsumi hasn't seen his friends since. Arya's father promises to organize a search party to look for them. Grateful, Tatsumi goes to sleep feeling like maybe things are finally looking up. He's wrong. So wrong. The next day, Tatsumi tags along with Arya on a shopping trip. While waiting for her to finish, one of her guards fills him in on the current state of the imperial palace. The reigning emperor is a kid, a figurehead who answers to the prime minister. Before Tatsumi can react, the guard covers his mouth and whispers about the Night Raiders, a group of assassins dedicated to taking down corrupt leaders in the city. Tatsumi processes this information and goes back to carrying Arya's shopping bags like nothing happened. That night, around midnight, the Night Raiders attack Arya's mansion. Tatsumi wakes up to a scream and rushes to the corridor. Looking out the window, he sees the mansion is under siege. Guards rush out to fight, but the raiders cut through them like butter. Realizing how outmatched everyone is, Tatsumi decides to protect Arya. He finds an exit and follows a trail to the back of the mansion, where he sees Arya and her entourage heading toward a shed. One of the raiders, later identified as Akame, appears and takes out the guards. Just as she's about to kill Arya, Tatsumi steps in to stop her. Akame orders him to move aside. He refuses. Then the blonde woman from earlier, Leone, shows up as a member of the assassin group. Akame gets serious and slashes Tatsumi across the chest, but the artifact from his village protects him. She goes in for a second strike, but Leone intervenes to save him. When the chaos settles, Leone decides to show Tatsumi what his benefactors are really about. She kicks down the shed door, revealing a horror show of dismembered bodies inside. Among them, Tatsumi finds Sayo, already dead, hanged, her body covered in blood. His other friend Yasu is still alive in a dungeon cell and recognizes Tatsumi's voice. Arya tries to run, but Leone drags her back. She initially denies knowing anything about the shed, but eventually confesses. Turns out she was jealous of commoners passing through the city and took it out on them in the worst possible way. Enraged by the sight of his dead friends, Tatsumi turns on Arya and slashes her to death on the spot. The assassins are genuinely surprised by his resolve. Yasu is freed from his cage, but his injuries are too severe. In his final moments, he makes Tatsumi promise to live a good life for all of them. As the assassins start to leave, Leone picks up Tatsumi and drags him to their hideout, despite protests from the others. Eventually, he's accepted into the Night Raid. The next day, Tatsumi buries Sayo and Yasu in a grassy forest clearing. While he's paying his respects, Leon shows up and asks if he's decided to join them. He's wary. He's been deceived before, and honestly, she was part of it. But now that he's one of them, she gently pats his head and leads him back to the mansion to meet the rest of the crew. First, she introduces him to Shield, gentle, soft-spoken, but deadly. Then Mine, sassy, short-tempered, the kind of person who will roast you and shoot you in the same breath. Next up is Bulat, big, muscular, friendly, with a fondness for boys that makes Tatsumi visibly uncomfortable. Then Lubbock, the pervert of the group, caught checking out the bathing girls and promptly disciplined by Leon. Finally, Akame, the most deadly member, sitting by the fire eating a fish so massive it looks like it could have swallowed her first. The boss of the night raid returns from a trip and immediately scolds Leon for acting out of order, making her beg for forgiveness like a child. Then he turns his attention to the new recruit. He asks Tatsumi why he wants to join, and Tatsumi gives some answers that don't quite align with their mission. But the boss manages to convince him anyway, and by the end of the meeting, Tatsumi has a renewed sense of purpose. Before he gets too excited, the boss lays out the risks. If any of them get caught and executed on the job, there's nothing they can do to save them. But if they succeed, they can restore the nation. Tatsumi agrees, on one condition: his village gets compensated for the trouble. Fair enough. Now it's time to train the new guy. His first teacher? Akame. And her specialty? Cooking. The very next day, Tatsumi joins her in the kitchen to cook for the entire family. He finishes up, Mine teases him a bit, and then Akame takes him fishing at a nearby pond. She strips down, dives into the water, and catches fish with her bare hands like it's nothing. Then she encourages Tatsumi to do the same. That night, he manages to catch 2 river tuna and prepares a meal for everyone. During lunch, the boss presents a new case. There's an unjust oil merchant named Gamal, who works with a powerful soldier known as the Ogre. The two are known for framing innocent people and executing them in public. The wife of one of their victims has hired the night raid to take them out. Since Akame, Bulat, Mine, and Shield already have wanted posters plastered all over the city, Tatsumi will have to tag along on this mission. The boss gives him the green light, and Tatsumi promises to deliver justice. Before they leave, Akame warns him never to get cocky before a mission. It's the kind of attitude that gets people killed. On the way to the capital, Leon tells Tatsumi about Akame's background. When she was younger, she and her friends were captured and trained as assassins, forced to fight for survival. Akame met the night raid boss on one of her missions and was recruited to join. Hearing this, Tatsumi finally understands why Akame acts the way she does. The group splits up. Leon and Akame go after the oil merchant, while Tatsumi is tasked with isolating the ogre. He approaches the commander, pretending to be a helpless recruit looking to join the military. When the ogre turns his back, Tatsumi strikes, landing a solid blow. He thinks he's won. Then the ogre wakes up, smacks him in the head, and the real fight begins. The ogre spends the first half of the battle insulting the souls of everyone he's killed, which only makes Tatsumi angrier. Eventually, Tatsumi jumps high into the air and takes him down for good. He returns to the hideout, proudly boasting about his victory to Akame. She strips him open to check for wounds, smiling when she finds him unharmed. Tatsumi is surprised to see her opening up, and he reciprocates. Leon, of course, teases him until his entire face turns pink. A few days later, another mission comes in. The boss sends all the assassins after a group of enemy fighters suspected to be assassins themselves. The enemies escape into the forest. Along the way, Bulat shows off his imperial relic armor, Incursio, before continuing the pursuit. In another part of the forest, Akame faces 3 enemy assassins who underestimate her. She makes quick work of them with her cursed blade and heads back. Mine picks off fleeing enemies from a distance with her rifle. Leon uses her feral abilities to track and hunt. Lubbock takes down a female assassin with his wires. And Bulat? He gets ambushed by a group of assassins and absolutely destroys all of them with his spear. That night, Tatsumi lies awake thinking about the incredible group he's joined. He briefly thinks about Bulat, quickly dismisses any weird thoughts, and reflects on the promises he made to his dead friends. The next morning, Tatsumi goes looking for Mine. He finds Shield and another assassin first, asks for Mine's room, apparently she's not a morning person, and decides to wake her up himself. He walks in without knocking. She's changing. She screams, shoots at him, he dodges, he apologizes, and the commotion wakes up the entire house. Later, Mine gets dressed and heads into town with Tatsumi. As they walk the streets, Tatsumi finally sees the capital for what it really is. Unhappy people everywhere, desperate for a better life. He discusses this with Mine as they continue walking. They spot two bullies harassing a little girl in an alley. Mind chases them off and keeps moving. Along the way, they see wanted posters of the other night raid members. Tatsumi is surprised to see Bulat's face up there. They stop at a restaurant for lunch. At one point, Tatsumi disrespects Mind, and she responds by beating him up. Once she's done, she gets serious and reminds him of his inexperience. He acknowledges it, but declares he's not giving up. Suddenly, a crowd gathers in the public square for an execution. Tatsumi and Mind join them, and both are reminded of their own past experiences with these gory public spectacles. Unbeknownst to them, the young emperor is about to sentence another person to death for defying his orders. Despite warnings from his subordinates, the gluttonous prime minister reminds the emperor to execute the man without regrets. After passing judgment, the prime minister approaches the condemned man and promises to take care of his beautiful wife while he's gone. Charming. Tatsumi and Mind return to the hideout to find they've been given a new mission. Target Ikal, one of the prime minister's distant relatives. That night, they head to Ikal's mansion. Mind sets up her sniper rifle and takes a fatal shot, killing him instantly. On their way back, they consider taking out the guards but decide against it since the guards were trained in the capital's martial arts. Mind shares her backstory with Tatsumi, her resolve to restore the country to its former state and live off the money she earns. When they reach the meeting point, no one is there. Suddenly, one of Ikal's guards shows up and challenges them. Mind fires, but he dodges. Tatsumi holds him in place, allowing Mind to land a fatal shot. Meanwhile, deep in the city's dark corners, an assassin named Zank, wielding an imperial relic, sets out to hunt his victims. That night, he targets a couple. The man and woman beg for their lives, but Zank cruelly suspends the woman's head in the air and demands she talk to him. When she promises to do so, he rips her head off anyway, laughing like a maniac. The next day, Tatsumi wakes up early to train with Bulat, who teaches him proper sword form. After breakfast, he watches Akame inhale her food at lightning speed. Meanwhile, the boss is seen with a fatally injured soldier by the river. Before dying, the soldier hands her a list of people who have pledged their support to the revolt. She collects the note and lets him rest in peace. During the nightly meeting, the boss informs the group about the serial killer beheading people every night. They identify him as Zank, the former imperial executioner who acquired an imperial relic and has been on a rampage. When Tatsumi makes a funny face, everyone teases him. He asks about the origin of the imperial relics. The boss tells the history. About 1,000 years ago, the creator of their current empire was worried about protecting his new nation. He couldn't rule forever, so he needed a way to ensure the people could fight against bad rulers when they emerged. After years of thinking, he came up with the idea of creating weapons with the wisdom of 1,000 blacksmiths and magicians. He called all the best blacksmiths from around the world to create 48 imperial relics. Each relic was given to a retainer to watch over. Peace followed for a time. But 500 years ago, during a civil war, about half the relics were stolen and scattered across the continent. The Night Raid has managed to recover some relics for themselves, giving them power that can rival 1,000 men. After the history lesson, each assassin introduces their relic. Akame's is Murasame, the cursed sword that poisons any surface it cuts. No antidote exists. Leone's belt, the beast ruler, grants the strength and senses of a beast in combat. Mind's spirit artillery pumpkin is powered by her fighting spirit and deals serious long-range damage. The more dangerous the situation, the stronger it gets. Bulat's armor, Incursio, grants absolute defense. Shield's relic is the scissors. Lubbock's is the wire of many uses, cross-tail. When two relic users face each other, one person must die. Which means if they face Zank, they'd better win. Tatsumi gets a little scared, but his colleagues reassure him. He asks the boss about his relic, but the boss tells him not to worry. He'll find one that suits his fighting style someday. Later that night, Akame and Tatsumi sneak around the city searching for Zank. Akame complains about handling her cursed sword. There's no antidote, so she has to be careful not to cut herself. Unbeknownst to them, Zank has already used his relic to find them. He decides to abduct the weakest one, Tatsumi. Tatsumi sees an apparition of Seiyo and follows her to the top of a tower. There, Zank reveals his relic, a forehead protector that can read minds and see people from a distance. Tatsumi knows he has to hold Zank off to buy time for Akame to find him. He attacks with everything he's got, but he's not strong enough. He keeps fighting, shouting loudly for Akame to hear him. Zank urges him to beg for his life, but Tatsumi powers up and lands a strike. Then Zank hits him in the back. Akame arrives just in time. Zank uses his relic to read her body for hidden weapons, but doesn't find any. They fight for a few minutes, and Akame figures out his power. She clears her mind of thoughts, but Zank reads her emotions and uses them against her. At an impasse, he asks if she still hears the voices of the people she's killed. She tells him she doesn't. Zank uses his power to show her an apparition of her old friend, but Akame snaps out of it and slashes his chest. Zank is surprised and asks why she snapped out of it. Akame tells him that if the apparition was her friend, she'd still kill her. She grants him the death he's wanted and frees him from the terror of the voices. The next day, Akame visits Tatsumi and urges him to get back to training. The following morning, Tatsumi has a weird dream where Sayo and Yasu are in good hands, the hands of his new friends. He wakes up and finds Shield sleeping nearby. He watches the clumsy girl fumble around to say hi, making him wonder what her special ability actually is. At breakfast, the others worry about Shield being paired with the troublesome Tatsumi. The boss tries to make a weird joke that just grosses everyone out. They all tease Lubbock and continue with their day. For his first training session, Tatsumi has to swim in heavy armor. After he passes, Shield tells him she can't concentrate on what training to give him since she has no real job. She explains that she's flunked every job she's tried due to her clumsy nature. Tatsumi asks why he didn't see her with the others at the end of his first mission, but she can't explain it. He helps her and asks for her story. Shield has always been clumsy. Her clumsiness made everyone look down on her. She lost her way in life with nothing to take pride in. Sometimes she'd act out just to get noticed. One night, she met a lady who took interest in her. They became best friends. But one night, the lady's ex-boyfriend showed up drunk and threatened to kill her. Without thinking, Shield killed him. Her friend was scared, but it was ruled self-defense. After she was released, the man's friends came for revenge. Shield kept her cool and killed them all. That's when she realized her purpose: to free the city of the garbage that plagued it. That evening, everyone gathers to watch Tatsumi try on Zank's forehead protector. He activates it and uses it to see through the girl's clothes, but the relic rejects him. They send it to the lab for more research. The boss gives Tatsumi a book with details of all the relics. He asks about the strongest one, and the boss says it's the relic that controls ice. Its user, Esdeath, is a strong warrior conquering lands in the north to retake the capital from the Prime Minister. As a preventive measure, the Empire set out to invade the north before she could make a move. Tatsumi assures the boss they'll find all the relics and use them to revive his dead friends, but Bulat stops him. There is no relic that can bring back the dead. If such power existed, the Emperor who created the relics would still be alive. This news hits Tatsumi hard. He visits his friend's grave and Sheely catches him shedding tears. She hugs him and urges him to let his troubles out. He cries softly in her arms. Meanwhile, in the north, the leader of the Empire's army, Esdeath, defeats the hero holding the ice relic. She forces him to lick her feet naked, then kills him. She's searching for an enemy strong enough to satisfy her urge to kill. The following day, Leon takes Tatsumi to the slums where she grew up. As they pass through the busy streets, everyone recognizes and greets her, including people she scammed in the past. Meanwhile, an emissary reports to the Emperor that generals have defected to the Revolutionary Army. The Emperor urges calm, waiting for the defectors to make a mistake so they can be taken down. The Prime Minister mentions a more immediate problem, the night raid. He suggests letting Esdeath, who has dealt with the northern threat, return to handle them. Tatsumi gets separated from Leon and wanders the streets. He comes across Seryu and her imperial relic, Hecaton Kaires, which is known to harm those who do evil. Seryu offers to help Tatsumi find his way back, holding his hand and asking for details. Tatsumi asks about her relic, and she explains she's the only one it can cope with. She takes him back to the capital and rushes to her office. On the way, she remembers her former boss and vows revenge on whoever killed him. That night, Leon and Tatsumi visit the red light district to take down some drug bosses who kidnap women. Leon activates her belt's power, carries Tatsumi, and jumps to the building of interest. They hide in the ceiling and see the captive women being mistreated. Seeing this, they burst in and quickly take out the old men and their sons. The men beg for their lives, but Leone refuses to spare them. After rescuing the women, they head home. Tatsumi asks what will happen to them, and Leon says they'll be taken to an inn in the countryside. On their way back, Mine and Shield run into Seryu, who recognizes them as Night Raid members. Seryu vows to make their deaths quick and seamless. Mine attacks with her artillery, but Seryu's relic blocks the attack. The dog grows bigger and attacks Shield, who blocks with her scissors. Mine shoots a hole in the dog's side, but it immediately regenerates. She realizes the dog has a core that enables its regeneration. Before they can figure out how to destroy it, Shield orders the dog to regenerate arms and attack. Seryu blows her whistle for reinforcements while holding off the two girls. Shield takes advantage of the commotion to use her hidden ability. Her scissors shine with bright light and attack at amazing speeds. She chases Seryu to the forest and cuts off both her arms. Seryu tricks Shiel into thinking she's unarmed, then materializes guns from her cut arms and shoots. Shiel blocks and cuts the guns off. Seryu orders her dog to grow bigger and turn into a wolf. The dog captures Mine, but Shiel cuts the hand and frees her. Shiel lets her guard down for a second, and Seryu shoots her with a mouth gun. The dog grows another hand and bites Shiel in half, killing her. Enraged, Mine moves to attack, but reinforcements arrive. As a final gift, Shiel uses her ability to release a blinding light, allowing Mine to escape. As Mine races back to the hideout, she promises to never forget Shiel. In her final moments, Shiel reflects on the love she received from the night raid, wishing she could be with them one more time. Seryu lets out a maniacal laugh, naming herself the Ambassador of Justice. When Mine returns, she reveals the sad news. The group is devastated. Tatsumi gets emotional and urges Mine to go after Shiel's killer, but the boss can't sanction an operation out of emotion. That night, Tatsumi returns to his friend's grave, recalls his moments with Shiel, clenches his fists, and becomes more determined to end the Prime Minister. By dawn, Esdeath returns to the capital as the proud owner of the ice relic. She presents herself to the young emperor, and the Prime Minister welcomes her, granting her 10,000 gold pieces for her efforts in the north. But Esdeath wants more. She tells the ruler she wants to fall in love. The Prime Minister suggests granting her wish. She has no intent to usurp the throne. The emperor promises to do something about her request. Before leaving, Esdeath hands them a list of qualities she wants in her ideal man. Strong, easily controllable, sweet, innocent smile. Good luck with that. Back at the hideout, Tatsumi does dishes while Akame helps Mine eat. Tatsumi thinks about Shiel's killer, wishing he had killed her when he had the chance. At the palace, Esdeath and the Prime Minister discuss her requirements. He promises to find her type, even though most seem outrageous. After meeting with him, Esdeath meets 3 members of her new secret squad. Relic users who pledge their loyalty and promise to hunt down the night raid. Late at night, Tatsumi finds Akame holding a plate of Shieli's favorite midnight snack. He commends her for keeping her composure despite losing a loved one. But Akame breaks the plate and starts crying, admitting she's been holding back her emotions for the sake of the mission. Tatsumi is disappointed in himself for thinking less of her. He punches himself, but Akame checks to make sure he's okay. He promises to avenge Shiel's death in due time. Leon, eavesdropping, smiles at the more determined Tatsumi. The next morning, Tatsumi trains hard with Akame as his teacher. After getting hit a few times, he asks for another session. Bulat then comes in, punches Tatsumi to the ground, appreciates his determination, but warns him to keep an eye on his surroundings. He decides to train Tatsumi himself, sparring seriously with his pole. Far away in the north, a politician and his daughter ride in a carriage. He condemns the Prime Minister and promises to fight him, but their time has come. Esdeath's 3 assassins show up, kill the guards, the daughter, and the politician. Afterward, they spread flyers to make it look like the night raid did it. The boss arranges a meeting with the night raid. She orders Leon to spy on Esdeath in the capital, warning her to be careful of the legendary warrior. She shows them the flyers and explains that the politicians killed were the only ones keeping the capital stable. They need to stop the indiscriminate targeting. The boss narrows down the 3 assassins' next possible targets to 2 politicians and creates 2 teams, Akame and Lubbock, Tatsumi and Bulat, to guard them. On the mission, Bulat and Tatsumi find the first politician on a large cruise ship. Bulat makes himself invisible with his Incursio armor and smacks Tatsumi when he starts slacking off. He discusses how he used to fight alongside a general named Liver who was wrongfully accused and imprisoned. Bulat goes to investigate the inner parts of the ship while Tatsumi blends in. Elsewhere, Leon spies on Esdeath but senses a trap and leaves. On the cruise ship, the sound of a flute causes the passengers to collapse, but Tatsumi stays awake. As he walks to the deck, one of the assassins with the imperial relic attacks him. Bulat arrives just in time to protect Tatsumi, activating Incursio and fighting off all 3 assassins. After injuring 2 of them, Bulat realizes one is Liver, the general he used to fight alongside. Bulat asks for an explanation, but Liver says he was saved by General Esdeath and his loyalty has shifted. Bulat knows he must complete the mission, even if it costs his life. Liver removes his glove to reveal his relic, Black Marlin, which can control water. Given they're on a ship, the fight should be fair. Liver creates a water cannon, which Bulat blocks. The flute guy wakes up and tries to attack, but Tatsumi stops him. He evades Tatsumi's attacks, but his wound prevents him from showing full strength. Liver summons a ravine serpent toward Bulat, while Tatsumi fights the flute guy. Bulat slices through the serpent and floats in the air. Liver attacks, breaking his helmet's faceplate, but it's not enough. Liver summons a real water dragon at Bulat. Bulat suspends himself, waiting for the right time to strike, but the flute guy gets in his way. He pauses his attack and lands safely. Bulat finds Tatsumi in pain and apologizing for his weakness. Bulat removes his Incursio armor and rests. Liver gloats, but Bulat reminds him his techniques have taken a toll on his body. Liver tries to get Bulat to join Esdeath's army. Bulat refuses. Liver lists the benefits, but Bulat isn't interested. They decide to settle things without their relics. Liver injects a strength-boosting substance. They draw swords and fight to the death. Bulat manages to slice Liver and push him down, but as Liver falls, he uses his hidden ability to turn his blood into tiny pincers that attack at high speed. Some pierce Bulat's body. Before dying, Liver reveals Esdeath promised to make him happy if he joined her. He also reveals the booster was poison that has now infected Bulat's blood. In his final moments, Bulat shows Tatsumi their remaining enemy, the flute guy. He approaches, using his trump card to buff his body. Tatsumi faces him without a relic, but Bulat passes the Incursio armor key to him, urging him to use it. The flute guy tries to talk Tatsumi out of it, but Bulat gets up and punches Tatsumi for letting the enemy tell him what to do. He gives Tatsumi some final words. Believe in yourself. Tatsumi takes a leap of faith and activates Incursio. As he screams, the real danger beast that was transformed into the armor, a dragon tyrant, shows up and merges with his body, making him more powerful. He attacks the flute guy, punching him through the wall and killing him. Bulat gives Tatsumi a final smile before closing his eyes. Tatsumi cries over the loss of his second teammate. Later that evening, Akame's sister, Kurome, is seen eating snacks over a pile of dead bodies. One of her people tells her she's been summoned to the capital by General Esdeath. The next day, Mine bathes in the river near the hideout, regaining her strength to hunt her friend's killer. She returns to the mansion and asks someone to train her. At the training ground, she finds Lubbock and Tatsumi doing push-ups with the ladies sitting on their backs. Leon teases Lubbock for doing fewer push-ups than Tatsumi, and Akame makes a joke that gets her smacked. The boss arrives, revealing she's a woman dressed as a man to be taken seriously as a war general. She explains her mission to gather relics from the fallen assassins and travel south to recruit new members. Tatsumi complains about the heavy cleavers, but the boss says it's no match for her strength. Before leaving, she commends Tatsumi for holding his ground against the powerful assassins, even though they lost Bulat. She tells him about Bulat's thoughts of him before leaving. Elsewhere, Esdeath says her final goodbyes to her 3 former assassins and leaves to search for more powerful comrades for her secret anti-night raid force. Just outside the capital's gates, a country hick named Wave arrives carrying a bag of freshly caught fish. He makes his way to the palace and finds the conference room, meeting his new comrades. He's surprised to find a strange masked guy staring at him. Kurome shows up, snacking as usual, and shoos him away when he tries to speak. Seiryu arrives with her dog, followed by a flamboyant guy named Stylish. When the only normal person, Run, arrives, Wave becomes infatuated, holding his hands like a little girl. Once everyone is present, the masked guy, named Bowles, gets up and prepares tea, introducing himself as a shy person from the notorious Incineration Squad. Suddenly, Esdeath, wearing a mask, shows up and attacks everyone. Kurome is the only one who manages to break her mask, and they all stop when they see her face. Esdeath takes her new squad, which she names the Jaegers, on a tour of the palace and explains their mission. She treats them to a fish dinner where Bowles and Wave do the cooking. She explains her next objective is to find love. Seiryu tells her about Shield's relic, which no one is currently strong enough to wield. Esdeath suggests hosting a tournament to find someone capable of using it. Tatsumi visits the secret hideout in the capital's bookstore, meeting Leon and Lubbock. They discuss their new enemy, Esdeath, who used to be close to their boss, Najenda. Najenda and Esdeath were sent to take out a rebel tribe in the mountains. Esdeath turned the entire body of water to ice, and they defeated most of the tribe. She even made some of them live and breed more rebels for her to fight in the future. The Prime Minister and the young Emperor read Esdeath's list of qualities for a man and arrange a matchup for her to find a suitable partner. Tatsumi faces a muscular bully with a boat-like head and easily defeats him, impressing Esdeath. She immediately attaches a collar to his neck and drags him to her quarters, knocking him out. The night raid is informed and makes a plan to save Tatsumi. By nightfall, Esdeath takes Tatsumi on the Jaeger squad's first mission. While she and Tatsumi stay behind, The others show off their relics, slashing, cutting, and burning everything in their path. Tatsumi is surprised by their destructive capabilities. After the mission, Esdeath promises to train Tatsumi herself and admits her weird feelings, hoping they can make it work. Tatsumi asks Esdeath to join the night raid. She refuses. Later in her quarters, he tries to ask again, but she kisses him and pins him to the bed. He stops her and asks the question. She slaps him and reassures him she'll always be there for him and his family. Tatsumi tries to manipulate her love for him, but she refuses to cave. She politely asks him to stop talking about rebelling and join her in bed instead. When he tries to escape, she warns him not to do anything stupid. He returns to bed and sleeps with her. Before sleeping, Esdeath recalls her earlier meeting with the Jaeger team. She had chained Tatsumi to a chair and introduced him as her lover, asking for advice on how to make him fall in love. Surprisingly, Bowles admits he's been married for 6 years and advises her to remain persistent. The next day, a sleep-deprived Tatsumi joins Wave and Kuromi for breakfast. He notices Kuromi has a similar vibe to Akame and asks about it. She tells him she's related to Akame and can't wait to cut her up. Esdeath invites Tatsumi to hunt a dangerous beast at Fake Mountain, planning to impress him with her strength. She sends Wave to scout the west side with Tatsumi while she and Kuromi take the east. As Wave and Tatsumi make their way up the mountain, Wave mentions his experiences with girls. Tatsumi takes out his sword, but he's actually using it to take down tree goblin monsters. He escapes using Incursio. When Wave realizes Tatsumi has escaped, he summons his own relic, Grand Chariot, armor just like Incursio, and catches up, thinking Tatsumi is just another night raid member. Tatsumi escapes and swims ashore, where a dangerous beast appears. Akame arrives just in time to save him, killing the beast. She welcomes him back, and Lubbock leads them to the new hideout. After punishing him, Esdeath dismisses Tatsumi, hoping he won't do such a thing again. The other Jaeger members ask what to do if they find him, as he may be the enemy. Esdeath orders them to quell the enemy, but deep down she wishes to be reunited with him. At the night raid hideout, Tatsumi explains how strong Esdeath is. Akame promises to beat her as long as she has a beating heart. That night, Stylish uses his genetically modified humans to track Tatsumi's location and calls for backup. At the hideout, the members are sleeping after celebrating Tatsumi's return. Leon wakes up and is attacked by one of Stylish's creations. Lubbock tries to alert the others but is confronted by another. He fights back and is eventually saved by Akame, who finishes off the enemies. Tatsumi, in Incursio, breaks through the wall to face Kaku-san, who has been granted Shield's relic. He attacks, but Kaku-san uses the scissors to partially immobilize his armor. Tatsumi tries to recover Shield's weapon, but Kaku-san refuses. Suddenly, Mine arrives and uses her artillery to rip Kaku-san to shreds. She recovers Shield's relic with tears in her eyes. As the battle rages, a dangerous air manta beast appears, and Najenda is seen riding it with 2 disguised people. She welcomes the new recruits to the night raid. Akame cuts off an arm from her enemy, and Lubbock helps finish him off. Another enemy sneaks up on Mine, but Leon arrives and takes him down. The night raid reunites to fight the remaining enemies. However, Stylish has injected a poison that makes everyone except Tatsumi and his Incursio armor faint. Just as the situation looks dire, one of the new recruits, a humanoid living relic, shows up and starts destroying enemies. Stylish tries to take him out with a secret bomb, but the recruit regenerates and waits for Najenda's orders. Najenda spots Stylish and his people, and they run. Stylish tries to think of a way to take down the recruit, but it's too late. He's captured. Stylish injects himself with poison, transforming into a giant, muscular figure. He challenges anyone to face him, and Tatsumi, Akame, and Mine join the fight. They try to slice and shoot the giant, but his armor is too strong. Tatsumi takes Akame to the monster's head, and Akame uses her poison to eliminate Stylish. With Stylish gone, Akame and Tatsumi reunite with the night raid on the air manta to find a new hideout. It flies them to the Marg Highlands, which Najenda says is a good location due to the high-level danger beasts in the area. Najenda introduces the 2 new recruits, Chelsea, a talented assassin and master of disguise, and Susanoo, an imperial relic who is a perfect bodyguard. The others are disappointed by Susanoo's abilities, but Najenda says he'll be convenient. Back in the capital, Esdeath is worried about Tatsumi and goes to check on Seryu, who is grieving Stylish. Esdeath hugs her tightly and promises to bring the night raid to justice. Wave tries to comfort Seryu, but finds Esdeath has beaten him to it. After dinner, Najenda rallies the night raid and urges them to train hard despite being short on manpower. Everyone agrees. The next day, Susanoo takes Akame fishing, and they catch a big haul. The team enjoys the dinner Susanoo and Akame prepare. Najenda tells them she reactivated the dormant Susanoo at the revolution camp. Meanwhile, Mine is eating cake when a cat walks in and asks for some. When Mine gives it some, the cat transforms into Chelsea, revealing her relic that allows her to transform into anything. Mine gets upset and promises to get back at Chelsea. The next day, the night raid heads out to take down danger beasts and claim more territory. Leon spots the leader and kills it, claiming the land. Najenda commends their progress, then turns to Chelsea, who explains that while they're strong, they're also too hot-headed and might end up like their fallen comrades if they don't change. That night, Mine makes a plan with the boys to teach Chelsea a lesson for insulting their pride. Tatsumi tries to talk her out of it, but she's determined. After Mine leaves, Lubbock comes up with a plan to prank Chelsea while she's bathing. Tatsumi, in Incursio, tries to sneak up on her, but Chelsea, who can transform into Susanoo, catches him. She reveals herself and smacks him, warning him not to try such a stunt again. Tatsumi apologizes, and Chelsea opens up. She lost all her previous teammates and doesn't want the same to happen to the night raid. Tatsumi tries to tease her, but she warns him not to let his guard down around her. Meanwhile, Run notices Esdeath is becoming weaker as she continues searching for Tatsumi in the capital. Later that night, in a mine, golem-shaped danger beasts attack workers, and their unidentified controller prepares to head to the capital. He makes his way to a small shed in the forest, where he orders his beasts to attack and kill a couple having dinner. The next day, the Emperor warns Esdeath about the dangerous night raid, and she promises to eliminate them once they're found. He also asks about her recent lover, and she says she believes she'll be reunited with him. After the meeting, the Prime Minister talks to Esdeath. He's interested in the concept of love, which Esdeath's recent conquest has sparked in the Emperor. He tasks her with investigating the danger beasts ravaging the capital's outskirts, and promises prize money for her warriors fighting in the north. Two merchants are attacked by danger beasts near the capital's gates, but Bowles quickly takes them down. Wave and Seryu comfort the scared merchants. Esdeath arrives and freezes the remaining danger beasts. Back at the palace, Bowles prepares tea for Wave and Kuromi. Wave expresses annoyance at the merchants for shunning Bowles, but Bowles says he's used to it since he was once feared as a monster. His wife and daughter arrive, and he happily plays with them as Wave and Kuromi watch in admiration. At the night raid hideout, Tatsumi trains with Incursio under Susanoo's supervision, learning to find weak points before striking. Susanoo demonstrates his abilities, and Tatsumi reassures him that the others see him as a comrade, not just an object. Akame summons the night raid back to discuss the danger beasts terrorizing the capital. Najenda briefs them on the situation and says they need to help suppress the beasts to save the people. Chelsea tries to talk them out of helping the capital, but Tatsumi reminds her that if they don't act, the people will suffer more. This changes Chelsea's mind. Susanoo makes a joke about Tatsumi's flyer being down, making everyone laugh. Chelsea later complains to Najenda that Tatsumi is too soft and worries he may lose his life in the capital. Esdeath is informed by Run that the danger beasts were once humans. A stylish copycat is conducting dangerous experiments. She concludes, someone is behind the beasts. Meanwhile, Seryu and her dog destroy some danger beasts in the forest, and the man behind them retreats after witnessing the destruction of his creations. During a night scout, Tatsumi asks Lubbock about his fondness for Najenda. Lubbock reveals that when he was a spoiled noble son, he fell in love with Najenda at first sight. He joined the military and the night raid to become strong enough for her to notice him, and he still hopes to make her fall in love. Tatsumi activates Incursio and goes down the mountain to search for danger beasts. Coincidentally, Esdeath spots him from her air manta and lands to reunite. Before he can use a danger beast to escape, she takes them all out and faces him. While Esdeath is overjoyed to see him, Tatsumi is not. Lubbock senses an intruder approaching, possibly an apprentice of Dr. Stylish. Esdeath wraps herself around Tatsumi and asks what he's doing there. He says he's been training and fighting danger beasts. She's pleased to see his muscles have grown stronger and encourages him to keep getting stronger. Esdeath senses the one behind the danger beasts and commands him to come out. The man reveals an imperial relic, Shambhala, and uses it to teleport Esdeath and Tatsumi to an island in the southeastern part of the capital. After being teleported, Tatsumi asks Esdeath to pinch him to confirm he's not dreaming. She kisses him instead. She explains the concept of imperial relics, and Tatsumi pretends not to understand. Esdeath summons an ice mountain to take them high into the sky, where they can see the ocean. As she hugs him, a giant danger beast appears. She uses her ice powers to defeat it. After the fight, they take a break under a coconut tree. Tatsumi gets carried away in conversation, but Esdeath is too busy drawing them together to notice. They spend the rest of the day peacefully on the island. At night, Esdeath asks Tatsumi what he'd like to do now that they're alone. He tells her not to get any ideas. After searching the island, they find a purple glowing hole in the ground that may be a way back to the capital. In the meantime, Esdeath wants to know more about Tatsumi, so he tells her a made-up story. He then asks her to tell him about her past. Esdeath shares that she used to be the daughter of a chief in a small northern settlement that hunted danger beasts. Her father taught her to be strong and survive. After his death, she joined the military and worked her way up to become the strongest in the empire. When Tatsumi asks if she was fighting the Northerners for revenge, she says she wasn't. She just likes killing people. It's in her nature. Tatsumi asks about her relic. She explains she drank the blood of a dragon beast that controls ice, an act that drives most people insane. Tatsumi realizes he can't turn Esdeath against the empire. She's a born killer who believes in strength. The son of the prime minister, who teleported them, wakes up and releases the spell. As Esdeath rushes to find an air manta to leave, Tatsumi considers running away but calls out to her instead. When she arrives, she finds he's escaped. Dejected, she promises to meet him again, but Tatsumi knows their next meeting will be on the battlefield. Chelsea, disguised as a maid, sneaks into a corrupt politician's house and kills him with poison needles. Wave and Seryu arrive, but Chelsea has already transformed into a cat playing with the politician's feline. After returning to the hideout, she reports her successful mission. The team teases Tatsumi for his night with Esdeath. Najenda, their young boss, returns to discuss Esdeath. Tatsumi is surprised by her age, and Akame warns him not to ask a woman about it. Elsewhere, Seryu captures and eats 3 food thieves, which Wave finds disturbing. He realizes how rotten the capital has become, but promises to carry out his duties as a soldier. Najenda explains their new mission at the hideout. She talks about a religious group called the Path of Peace, which preaches good deeds. As they've gained followers, there are rumors of an uprising against the empire. Najenda says they can use this uprising to their advantage and manipulate the people to bring down the empire. Tatsumi protests, but she tells him there's nothing they can do to prevent it. The revolution has planned a 3-pronged attack to overwhelm the empire and defeat them in one battle. Najenda points out their allies on the map. They decide to bring down the empire from the middle. The Westerners will get their land back in return for helping. Najenda mentions that the assistant to the leader of the Path of Peace is a spy from the Prime Minister, sent to drug the people and stop the uprising. This can't be allowed. Too many people could overdose. Before going to Korok, where the Path of Peace is headquartered, they need to take down at least 2 members of the Jaeger team, Bowles and Kurome. Tatsumi clenches his fist and promises to carry out his mission swiftly. Chelsea starts to like him more as she watches. Esdeath hears Akame and Mine talking on the streets and takes the bait, rallying her people to prepare for a fight. They quickly ride out of the capital. Spies at the gate send a messenger bird to inform Najenda. Najenda instructs Akame and Mine to attract as much attention as possible. They change into swimsuits and play in the river. Esdeath and her people stop in a nearby town. They realize the night raid lured them out, hoping to trap them, but now they have the upper hand. Kurome, Wave, and Bowles go after Akame, while Esdeath, Seryu, and Run go after Najenda. On the way to the canyon, Bowles gets worried about the night raid's strength, but Wave reassures him. They approach a suspicious scarecrow and Mine shoots at Kurome from above. Kurome dodges and realizes where Mine is. Susanoo comes out of the scarecrow and throws Wave into the air. Najenda and the night raid emerge to face the remaining enemies. Bowles remembers his family and promises not to die. Kurome summons 8 corpses and a bone golem to fight. Akame lunges at her sister, hoping to strike first. As she lands on the golem's head, one of their old friends appears and defends Kurome. Akame is shocked at how far her sister is willing to go and loses focus, allowing Kurome to hit her. As Akame falls, Bowles activates his relic to incinerate her, but Tatsumi swoops in with Incursio to save her. After dealing with Akame, Kurome orders her golem to create a bomb and fire at the enemies, creating a crater. Lubbock prepares to fight for Najenda's sake. Susanoo holds the golem down, telling Najenda to stay out of danger. Mine tries to snipe Kurome, but one of her summons catches the shot. Kurome manipulates a gunslinger corpse to fight Mine. Tatsumi also fights 2 new corpses, an ape man and a cloaked assassin with a flexible body. Akame tries to hit Bowles, but another of Najenda's dead colleagues appears to protect him. The colleague throws Leone off course and uses a whip on her. As the battle continues, Kurome introduces all her toys, Doya the gunslinger, Wolf the bodyguard, the ape man, the cloaked assassin, Rock the imperial guard, and Dagu the golem. She promises to reveal her final trump card later. Leon figures out Rock's trick and holds his whip. Najenda shows up and helps fight. Leone gets excited and forgets about Kurome, who takes advantage and slices off Leon's left arm. Leone uses her regenerative ability to stop the bleeding and keep fighting. Najenda orders her to support Akame while she holds off one of Kurome's fighters. Meanwhile, Esdeath notices something is wrong. They haven't caught up to Najenda. Instead, they face some bandits, and she orders her team to deal with them quickly. Akame circles Bowles and his bodyguard, searching for an opening. Bowles gives her an opportunity, using his bodyguard as bait, but Akame sees through it and charges. Bowles dodges, and Akame retreats to strategize. Bowles pauses and asks why she joined the night raid. She says she has no regrets. She joined to uphold her beliefs. Leone shows up to join and protect her. Najenda continues fighting Rock, who uses his Earthshaker technique. She dodges and uses her extendable arm against him, but it's not enough. She gets angry at Kurome's relic and punches Rock high into the air, placing him in the path of Dagu's fire, burning him to a crisp. Najenda authorizes Susanoo to use his hidden ability against the golem. While attacking, Tatsumi gets distracted, thinking he sees one of his comrades. He leaves the fight, but it's a trap set by Chelsea, who kills the ape man. Tatsumi thanks her, and she runs back into the forest. He faces his next enemy and uses Incurzio's power to punch him into oblivion. Kurome rests, worrying about Wave, when she notices her puppets have stopped moving. She picks up her sword to head back to the capital. Wave regains consciousness but is too weak from the fall to fight. Mine tries to sneak up on Kurome, but she unleashes her secret weapon, a giant frog that swallows Mine. Tatsumi arrives and confronts Kurome, but she leaves him to fight her old friend. Susanoo uses his hidden ability to transform into a powerful form, slicing Dagu to pieces while Tatsumi fights. Mine blows a hole in the frog's stomach and escapes. Najenda joins them, and Kurome feels the urge to kill all four of them. Leone and Akame work together to take down Wolf, but he shoots Leone's other hand with a hidden weapon. She still manages to break his relic. After Bowles' explosion, Tatsumi, Najenda, and Susanoo realize Kurome has escaped with her summons. They assume Bowles is out of the fight. Leone and Akame are saved from the explosion, but Leone faints from exhaustion. Surprisingly, Bowles survives with minor injuries. He substituted himself with Wolf just before the explosion. He remembers a peaceful dinner with Esdeath and his colleagues and promises to have that dinner again. Bowles finds a little girl crying by a tree. He approaches to comfort her and fix her injured leg. While he's distracted, Chelsea, transformed into Bowles, punctures his artery, leaving him for dead. Bowles accepts his fate, but wishes to see his family one more time. Chelsea reverts to her true form and tells Lubbock to find reinforcements while she searches for and kills Kurome. Lubbock warns her to wait, but Chelsea transforms into Bowles to look for her. Kurome rests in the forest, eating snacks. She thinks back to her past with Akame during their assassin training. She used to be the weaker one, and Akame would always protect her and kill the danger beasts they faced. Eventually, Kurome decided to learn to kill on her own. After passing a difficult challenge, the sisters became full assassins, but their masters separated them to prevent them from becoming too dependent on each other. Kurome was taken to a lab and experimented on, leading to her taking the power-enhancing drug. At the night raid camp, Leone gets her hand reattached. Najenda reminds her that Susanoo's regeneration is even more powerful. Mine screams in pain as he fixes her hand. Lubbock arrives and tells the group about Chelsea's situation. Chelsea, transformed into Bowles, finds Kurome and greets her. Having learned how to relate to the Jaegers from Tatsumi, she waits for the right moment to strike, suspecting Kurome has a hidden power. At the camp, Mine tells the group about Kurome's super-fast reflexes, likely due to the drug she's been taking. Meanwhile, Chelsea, disguised as Bowles, escorts Kurome. Kurome suddenly collapses. Chelsea punctures her vital organs and leaves, but makes the mistake of not cutting off her head. Chelsea reflects on her past. She worked as a maid and killed the viceroy who hunted slaves, gaining praise and starting her journey as an assassin. As Chelsea turns to leave, Kurome regains consciousness and vows to kill her. Chelsea throws a smoke bomb and tries to escape, but Kurome summons her summons to chase her. They catch up to Chelsea in a field of flowers, and one of them decapitates her. A few days later, Tatsumi and Akame sneak into the capital and find Chelsea's severed head hung on a pole in the town square. Tatsumi returns to the camp, sleeps in, and joins the others for their next mission. Meanwhile, Esdeath and the Jaegers arrive in Korok and report to Advisor Bitch. She asks him to show her the people who have been spying on them, the Rakshasa demons, a group of experts in body control. One demonstrates their strength to Seryu, who underestimates them. Esdeath realizes how important Bolz's organization is to the Prime Minister. Kurome, wounded, makes her way back to the capital and is treated. Wave is distraught seeing her condition. After resting, she begs Esdeath to let her fight, and Esdeath deems her ready. Wave finds Kurome in her room and asks why she keeps fighting even when not at full strength. She explains that as an assassin, if she's found lacking, she'll be silently disposed of. Wave tries to tell her it will be okay, but Kurome knows the harsh reality. Tatsumi and Mine arrive in Korok. He gets them ice cream without attracting unwanted attention. Mine explains that the people are kept happy and well-fed, so the Prime Minister can profit from gold mining. Lubbock is silently stalked by two Rakshasa demons who wait for nightfall to attack. At night, Akame walks the graveyard with two guards when one of the demons shows up and kills them. Akame recognizes him and gets angry. He dodges all her attacks, able to control his body's movements. The other two demons attack Lubbock. He plays dead to lure them away, but when the woman he was supposed to meet arrives, they kill her. Lubbock reactivates his heartbeat to draw their attention, showing off his skills against the demons who underestimated him. Meanwhile, Akame surrenders her sword to the demon, but it curses his hand. She seizes the opportunity to slice it off, and the poison kills him. Run arrives and flies away with the information he needs for Esdeath. Lubbock fights the remaining demons. He tricks one into running into a trap, and his wires strangle its heart, killing it. The other shows up, but Lubbock has set wire traps around the area. She manipulates her sweat to make the wires heavy, distracting him. She punches him to the ground. But the knives he threw earlier boomerang back and stab her in the back, allowing him to finish her off. He then runs away. Meanwhile, Mine and Tatsumi bicker when the leader of the Path of Peace shows up and advises them to become a couple. Back at Bitch's building, a woman offers herself to him, but then the news of the Rakshasa demon's deaths reaches him and Esdeath. She promises to crush Najenda and her people in Korok. The next day, the Jaegers go out. Seryu plays with the children. Wave and Suzuka, the last Rakshasa demon, try to locate the Night Raid members, but Suzuka wants to stay under Esdeath's command. After playing with the kids, Seryu promises to continue upholding justice. That night, Najenda holds a meeting with the Night Raid members. They're ordered to sneak into the Viceroy's palace during the Kakuri festival and eliminate Viceroy Bitch to encourage the Revolutionary Army's invasion. Before the mission, Susanoo provides special food, and they quickly finish to prepare. During the festival, Suzuka and Seryu spot Tatsumi and Mine in disguise and chase them. They flee to a dilapidated building, arguing along the way. Seryu locates them and fuses with her dog, summoning her City Justice attack. She shoots missiles at them, but Tatsumi senses them and escapes with Mine. Mine gets her artillery ready, and Suzuka attacks them. Tatsumi fights Suzuka while Mine faces Seryu. Mine destroys her warhead, shocking her. Seryu insults Shield and Chelsea's memory, angering Mine. Mine tries to shoot Seryu's weak spots, but Seryu powers up before she can destroy her core. Seryu catches up and beats Mine severely. Suzuka manages to stop Tatsumi, insulting his inexperience, but he strengthens his resolve to stand a chance against her. At the Viceroy's palace, Susanoo and Leone fight Kurome's guards. Leone tries to punch Kurome, but Wave arrives to defend her. Esdeath warns Bitch not to move from his throne, but Najenda tells her he's probably dead. Tatsumi takes Suzuka to an abandoned building and collapses it on her, killing her. He returns to find Mine, who has recovered, and shoots Seryu and her dog, slicing them in half. Seryu activates her self-destruct, and the explosion catches Mine, but Tatsumi saves her. Najenda has successfully eliminated Bitch and returns to her hideout. After Tatsumi saves her, Mine starts developing feelings for him and makes him promise to survive his battles. He agrees. In a meeting, the Prime Minister discusses the issue of viceroys defecting to the rebels. He assures officials he has a new special elite unit to handle the rebels, introducing his son Shura as the head of this new force. After the meeting, Wave and Kurome are served food by Run. Wave complains about the new elite unit, feeling the remaining Jaegers should be on the front lines. Kurome asks for seconds but collapses shortly after. Lubbock and Tatsumi sneak into the capital to observe the tight military presence around the palace, realizing it may pose a problem for their mission to meet the resistance. Meanwhile, Leone and Mine study the aqueducts, planning to use the careless construction to their advantage. Leone teases Mine about her feelings for Tatsumi. Akame, Najenda, and Susanoo give instructions to the rebels. Akame hopes Tatsumi and Lubbock are doing well. Lubbock teases Tatsumi about his feelings for Mine, but they continue their mission. They meet a contact who tells them about her parents being imprisoned by the Prime Minister on false charges. When they reach the meeting house, they find it filled with dead rebels. Shura appears, recognizing Tatsumi. Tatsumi attacks him, but is confronted by the powerful Commander-in-Chief Budo and his relic. Tatsumi summons Incursio to face Budo, while Lubbock is stopped by Shura and his men from helping. Esdeath destroys the remaining enemies before heading back to the capital. Lubbock tests Shura's teleportation powers. Shura injects himself to create teleportation circles, pursuing Lubbock. Tatsumi continues attacking Budo, who pauses to appreciate his discipline before shocking him with a hidden attack. Lubbock gets distracted, allowing Shura to kill their contact. Lubbock activates his wires, slicing Shura's hand and taking the Shambhala device. Shura reclaims it and sends Lubbock to another dimension, but Lubbock traps him there as well and kills him. However, their bodies are teleported thousands of feet in the air, and Lubbock falls to his death in front of Tatsumi, who screams in pain. After hearing about Lubbock's death, the Prime Minister mourns him for less than a minute before moving on, making plans to publicly execute Tatsumi to send a message to the Revolutionary Army. Esdeath arrives and requests to carry out the execution herself. Soon after, posters announcing Tatsumi's execution are spread throughout the capital. Mine immediately wants to rescue him, but Akame stops her, deciding to go with her instead to prevent a suicide mission. Leone also joins them. Najenda informs them of the plan to rescue Tatsumi. He's an integral member of the Night Raid. Esdeath visits Tatsumi in his dungeon, begging him to join her and avoid execution. He refuses. She decides to carry out the execution herself. Wave is confused. He doesn't understand her love for Tatsumi. Kurome explains her own desire to kill her sister out of love. Wave keeps quiet. Kurome notices her hair falling out, indicating her days are numbered. Najenda discusses the security weaknesses around the execution with the girls. They pay respects to Lubbock before proceeding with the rescue mission. The young emperor hosts Tatsumi's public execution, leaving Esdeath and Budo to carry it out. Before Esdeath can kill him, Mine shoots the execution spot with her artillery. Najenda and the others arrive to rescue Tatsumi. Budo attacks the air manta with lightning, and the battle begins. Akame sneaks into the palace to find and fight Kurome. Mine and Leone fight Budo, with Leone forcing openings for Mine's artillery. When Budo blocks a shot, Leone is paralyzed, leaving Mine vulnerable. However, Mine allows herself to be thrown around so her artillery can charge up. Akame finds Tatsumi's sword in the Prime Minister's office and recovers it. Esdeath traps Susanoo in ice, but Najenda activates his hidden power, allowing him to free himself and attack Esdeath. The battle between Mine and Budo intensifies, with Mine getting hit multiple times. Budo charges his hidden power, but Mine unleashes a devastating attack from her artillery, destroying Budo and his relic. She wins, but collapses afterward. Akame arrives and cuts Tatsumi free. He rushes to catch Mine before she hits the ground. Seeing the mission complete, Najenda orders the team to withdraw. Just as they're about to escape, Esdeath freezes time and space, attacking Susanoo and destroying his core. Najenda uses her life force to power his core again, but Esdeath tries to stop them from escaping. Susanoo holds off her attacks, allowing the team to retreat. On the way back, Mine asks Tatsumi to put her down near a river. Knowing she's dying, she confesses her love to him and shares a final kiss before passing away. After returning to the hideout, the Night Raid members mourn their fallen comrades. Tatsumi gets emotional. Najenda calls them back to order to prepare for their next mission. She mourns the sacrifice of Susanoo, and Tatsumi pays his respects to Mine. Meanwhile, chaos erupts in the capital as citizens rebel. Wave tries to stop them but is stopped by Run, who reveals his true goal of changing the empire from within by joining the Jaegers. Run asks Kurome about her health, and she expresses her desire to settle the score with Akame before being free. Esdeath is seen fighting and killing rebels outside the capital. Officials at the palace panic, and the young emperor falls into despair, but the Prime Minister reassures him. Kurome coughs up blood and leaves the capital to find Akame. Akame and Tatsumi witness the public execution of revolution spies. Akame deciphers a message from her sister indicating an old facility in the capital's outskirts. She prepares to go alone despite Tatsumi's offer to accompany her. She puts on her coat and heads out. Akame finds Kurome at the dilapidated facility. The two sisters sit together, reminiscing about their past. They had reunited at this same facility years ago. Things were good until Akame betrayed the Empire to join the Night Raid. Kurome admits to being miserable after she left and promises to take her life and add her to her collection. Akame unsheathes her sword, promising she won't go down easily. Meanwhile, Wave is worried about Kurome, and Run tells him her likely location. Kurome summons her summons to help fight the injured Akame. As they clash, a giant experimental danger beast surfaces, forcing the sisters to work together to defeat it. Once the beast is down, Kurome continues fighting, summoning more soldiers. Akame destroys them and goes for a fatal blow. Wave arrives in his grand chariot and saves Kurome, attacking Akame. Tatsumi arrives and stops Wave, allowing the sisters to continue their fight. Akame ends up stabbing Kurome. Wave is saddened, wishing there was another way. Akame places Kurome in Wave's hands and he leaves, asking Akame what they're truly fighting for. The next day, the Prime Minister takes the young Emperor to the Empire's basement to show him their last resort. After burying Kurome, Wave questions his loyalty to the Empire, feeling he has lost his life's purpose. At the Night Raid hideout, the team prepares for their final mission to eradicate the Empire's enemies. Najenda and the remaining Night Raid members break into the palace through an underground passage. They run into Run, who opens his relic and attacks them. He explains his village was wiped out by the Empire, and he's been waiting for a chance to expunge the evil from its core. Leone takes him on alone to allow the others to pass. Tatsumi, Akame, and Najenda rush to the Emperor's hall. The young Emperor is still being manipulated by the Prime Minister. When Tatsumi tries to explain the truth, the Prime Minister summons the legendary imperial relic Shikutazer, a giant mech capable of destroying large areas. The Emperor, under the Prime Minister's influence, unleashes it, destroying part of the Empire. Tatsumi is distraught to see his city being destroyed while the Prime Minister encourages the Emperor to keep using the relic. Tatsumi tries to reason with the Emperor, but the Prime Minister keeps manipulating him. The Emperor attacks Tatsumi, but Wave saves him. Wave and Tatsumi work together to take down Shikutazer. Remembering Susanu's teachings, Tatsumi finds the weak point and attacks it, but it's not enough. He unlocks the true power of Incursio and crashes into the mech's weakest point, destroying it. The effort costs Tatsumi his life. Esdeath arrives, saddened to see the love of her life has perished. Although grieving, she fights off attacking rebels. Akame challenges her to a final battle between relic wielders. Esdeath gains the upper hand at first, but Akame pauses to condemn her views. Esdeath tells her to prove her words with strength. Akame resorts to her last option, slashing Esdeath's hand with Murasame. This unlocks her hidden ability, allowing her to fight at supersonic speeds. Esdeath uses her time freeze ability, but Akame evades the attack as the curse encapsulates Esdeath's body. Esdeath laughs and praises Akame's strength. Using her last strength, she gets close to Tatsumi's body, encasing them both in an iceberg before it bursts. The Prime Minister tries to escape, but Leone catches up to him. He uses his relic to nullify her healing ability, then shoots her. But Leone manages to beat him down and destroy his face. Akame and Leone say their goodbyes, hoping not to see each other again. That night, as the capital celebrates a new beginning, Leone sneaks off to an alleyway to die peacefully from her wounds, passing away as a hero with a smile on her face. The citizens witness the execution of the Emperor, who accepts his fate. Wave and Run visit Kurome's grave one last time before leaving the capital. Najenda and the New Order gift Tatsumi's village with riches, though the villagers still believe he and his friends are alive. Akame takes one last look at Tatsumi's artifact before leaving. Najenda says her goodbyes, and Akame thanks her for letting her join the Night Raid, shaking her hand before heading off alone. This series showcases the sacrifices made by veterans to create a better world for us to live in. If you made it this far and want more deep dives into anime that actually respect your intelligence, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for Curious Nerd. We break down the smartest strategies, the craziest plots, and everything in between. Thanks for watching.